Hi everyone, in today's video we are going to be discussing how to find the area of a sector and arc length. Notice in this diagram we're going to find the area of a sector, which is represented by the red portion of the circle. In order to find the area of a sector, we first have to find the area of a circle. The formula for area of a circle is pi r squared, r being the radius. This line represents the radius. It's from the center to one of the endpoints. Here's the formula to find the area of a sector. So in order to find the area of a sector, you have to find the angle, which is represented here as angle AOB, over 360 degrees. That's how many degrees are in a circle, or 2 pi, which is in radians. That's equal to the area of the sector over the total area of the entire circle, which we just recalled as pi r squared. So this is a proportion. Angle over 360, or 2 pi, is equal to the area of the sector over the total area of the entire circle. Let's take a look at an example problem. Let's find the area of this sector. So notice in our circle, we have a radius, which is 6 centimeters. And we have an angle that's 90 degrees. So remember the formula, which we have angle over, in this case we have 90 degrees, so that's going to be in degrees. So the angle over 360 degrees is equal to the area of the sector over the total area. So our angle in this case would be the 90 degrees. So 90 over 360 is equal to the area of the sector. That's what we're trying to find. So that's x over my total area. Now remember, area formula is pi r squared. So in this case, it's going to be pi, and since our radius is 6, it's going to be 6 squared. Now, because this is a proportion, we're going to cross multiply. So we're going to do 90 times pi times 6 squared is equal to 360 times x. So we're going to do 360 times x is equal to, I am going to leave it in terms of pi. So 6 squared is really 36. 36 times 90 is 3,240 pi. Again, when you're putting this in your calculator, you can leave out the pi. I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to divide by 360 on both sides. And I'm going to be left with approximately 28.274 centimeters squared. So again, the formula you should use to find area of a sector is angle over 360 is equal to area of a sector over the total area. Next, let's look at how to determine the arc length. Notice in the diagram here, we have a circle, and we're looking for the arc length, represented by that red arc. Now, in order to find the arc length, we first have to determine what the circumference of a circle is. Circumference of a circle is the perimeter of the circle. So it's what I'm outlining in blue. Now, there are two formulas to find circumference. It can either be pi times d, which is the diameter. Remember, the diameter is across the entire circle from one endpoint to the other, or it's the same thing as 2 pi r. R would be the radius. So remember, the radius is from the center all the way to one endpoint. Let's take a look at the formula for arc length. So in order to find arc length, it's going to look very similar to the area of a sector formula with one slight difference. It's angle over 360, which is in degrees, or 2 pi, which is in radians, is equal to the arc over the total circumference of a circle. So that's the part that's different. In the area of a sector, it's over the total area, and this time it's over the total circumference, which again, remember, is either pi times diameter or 2 pi r. Again, we are solving a proportion. Angle over 360 or 2 pi is equal to arc over total circumference of a circle. Let's take a look at an example. In this problem, it says find arc NM given radius 5. So we know the radius is 5, which means the length of AM is 5. So again, because we're trying to find the arc length, the formula we're going to be using is angle over, this case we're going to be using 360 degrees since our angle is in degrees, is equal to the arc over the total circumference. So let's take a look. The angle that we're going to be using is 45 degrees over 360, the total degrees in a circle, is equal to x, I don't know what the arc length is, over my total circumference. So in this case, we'll use the formula 2 pi r. So 2 pi, and the radius is 5. That should be a 5. Okay, so now, because we have a proportion, we are going to cross multiply. So 360 times x is 360x is equal to 45 times 2 pi 5. Now again, I'm going to leave the pi out. I'm going to put that in at the end. So 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 45 is 450. And then I'm going to put the pi next to it. And again, because I'm solving for x, I want to then divide by 360 on both sides. Put that in the calculator, and you're going to approximately get 3.926. And we'll say that's 3.93. We'll round to the nearest hundredth. And that's how you find the arc length. Again, always set up a proportion. Angle over 360 is equal to arc over total circumference.